Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Cherika Brown. Of course, we're on another episode of Cherika Be Talking because I be talking. And today's topic, we're going to talk about another topic I just saw on TikTok, and that's stop reminding your man not to cheat on you. So this is a topic that I saw while scrolling, and it was a girl. She made valid points in a video, basically saying that every time that you're going through a man's following, or you're telling him unfollow this girl and unfollow that girl and do this and do that, that you're basically reminding or begging somebody to respect you. And she positioned or posed the question like, when you are in love with somebody or you care for somebody, do you ever have to remind yourself to be loyal to that person? And she was like, no, you don't. And I definitely understood where she's coming from, but the problem with it is you have to break it down for people to really understand and know, because a lot of girls, young girls that I'm speaking to now, and they're getting in these relationships, they're like, well, I see he's still following women, so I ghosted him, or I cut him off, or this and that. And the problem I have with that is that I like to give people grace, and I like to give situations my all, because once I'm off you, I want to be off you for life. I don't want to circle back and think about what I could have done wrong. I want to make sure that this one chance that I'm giving you, that I'm giving you as many chances as possible, so that once I wash my hands with you, I know I'm done. Once I burn that bridge, I promise I'll never cross it again. So I think that when it comes to social media, if you're one of those people that you don't want your man following certain women, or you don't want your man following women at all, or whatever, once y'all establish that y'all are together and y'all are focused on each other, there's nothing wrong with voicing that in the beginning. And the problem comes, which I think I'm guilty of and other women are guilty of, is when you're repeating yourself. And that's where I agree with her message as, because her wording was stop reminding your man not to cheat on you. So after you voice that you do not like something, I promise you he heard you. I promise you he heard you. You don't have to remind him. You don't have to say it again. You don't have to constantly, go through his thing like clockwork, like it's your job. Just make it known what you don't like. And if he care about you, he will fix it. You don't have to stress it. A lot of us, we get so passionate when we're in love and caught up, and we get emotional with it too, because we feel so passionate and loved by the person. And we just we want him to see where we're coming from and understand, but he understands. Men are not stupid. Men are not dumb. They're actually far from it. And everything that they do, they have intentions of doing it. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how their actions will affect you, how their actions will affect them, how their actions will come off to another woman. They know exactly what they're doing, so you don't have to remind a man to be faithful to you. And I agree with her with that. The thing is, the reason I say you should voice your concerns in the beginning, because every woman is different. If a man is coming to you to be in a relationship with you, if you consider yourself strict, or you have more standards than the average woman, he may have just came from a relationship where he could do literally whatever he want to do. And if you know men, if you had enough experience with just talking to men and dealing with them, they're always going to test the waters. Even when you tell them what you're not going to accept, they're going to tiptoe around it and dance around it, just to see if they can try you, just to see if you really about that life, just to see what would your response be. They like to try you. They like to see what they can get away with. So it's up to you to make up in your mind whether you would stay or leave, or, decide what action you would take once you voice what you don't accept or what you don't like. Now, this is the thing. Once you voice what you don't accept and what you don't like, you always have to be willing to leave a man. And when I say be willing to leave a man, I'm saying you have to be willing to say, if he disrespects me, no matter if he apologize, if he cry, if he beg and plead, if he crossed this boundary that I'm expressing to him, I will never in life talk to him again. And I have to be completely okay with that. You have to be willing to stand on business like that. Because let me tell you something. Like I said, when I say we're all guilty of it, I had situations where I would tell a man, like, I don't accept that, because what I just came out of, I was like, oh, it's just Instagram, all this and that. And just to find out that the boy that I was talking to was dealing with somebody right in my face, and I didn't even think nothing of it because I'm just thinking, oh, they just know each other through me, and I allowed them to follow each other and all of this. And basically, I felt like they played in my face because I knew in my spirit I wasn't okay with them following each other, but it was also social media kind of new, everybody just cool and just communicating, and it wasn't as serious as it is now where it's literally just another form of a dating app. So I was like, whatever I go into next, I ain't playing that. I ain't playing no man following a woman, none of this and that. So it was kind of fresh for me. This ideology was becoming fresh for me, like of seeing a man followers, because I wasn't looking at that stuff. I wasn't paying attention to that because I'm a naive young woman that don't care about like men follow me and like my pictures all the time and I don't respond. But there are other women that they literally they just going, and men are sharks. They out there looking, they hunting, they trying to find their next victim. So when I realized, oh, so this is what the world has come to. Social media is just another way of, like being social and bringing it over to real life. So I was like, I ain't gonna accept that no more. So it was a new thing. The next person I was with, I'm just like, yeah, I don't play that. So of course he was like, okay, cool. Like, no, at first he was giving me a lot of pushback, like, no, that don't mean nothing, the basic little stuff. And I'm like, look, I'm telling you, I don't accept it. If you want to do it, we just ain't gonna, we just ain't probably meant to be together. We going back and forth on it, with our positions. I shouldn't have done none of that. We going back and forth on why we think what we think, and to be fair, this particular person at the time, I don't even think that person really had malintentions all the way with social media. However, there's no such thing as an innocent man. We all know that. Like, he went all the way completely innocent. You ain't all the way completely innocent. When you're following somebody, even as women, if we're following back, we either have some type of work connection or we're interested on some type of level in some type of way. Like, let's just be real. If it's not like a childhood friend or something, even then people try to spin a block, or they feel like somebody look good, they done growed up and now they ready to be with them or whatever. But yeah, once you get to the point where you're constantly having to look at a man's following and express your concern, especially about a specific woman, or, when you get in like that, you're going too deep. And at that point, it's best for you to just cut off the relationship and accept the fact that this man know that he's hurting you. This man doesn't respect you. And he's literally telling you without saying it out his mouth, like, hey, I don't love you. I don't value you. I don't care about you. This woman, I'm choosing her over you. She's better in my eyes because I'm willing to lose you because I'm doing something that I know you do not like, just so that I can get her attention, or even if it is to get your attention, to get a reaction, to see if you accept it or not, to see how far he can go with you. He's still taking the chance of losing you forever, which shows you that he doesn't value you. He doesn't look at you like you are his wife or that you are worth marrying. He's like, oh, well, let me just take this chance at something else that may be better. He's literally telling you that he thinks there's better out there. Even if these women don't look better than you, these women could be desperate. In my case, I seen one time a man even go and follow a woman that literally he begged and pleaded and said he didn't know the woman, he didn't have nothing to do with the woman. This woman was dating a man that was an inmate. Like, they will do some crazy dumb things, but it's all essentially is telling you like, hey, I don't value you, I don't want you. Do you get it yet, dummy? And that's why I say I agree with her message, because in so many words, she's basically just saying we're human too as women. It's so easy for me. Like, I woke up this morning to some man with a whole bunch of followers, like looking at my story, like my entire story. He followed me. I didn't follow him back. So after a few hours, he unfollowed me. Like, he may have sent and unsent a message, but I can see that stuff all day and don't say or do anything. So what makes it so difficult for him? Just because he's a man and their DNA is built different? Like, no, there's a lot of loyal men out there. I've spoken with a lot of men that they take loyalty just as serious as I do. It may be far and few because most men are followers and they're just doing things to appease and to get applause from other men, and they think the culture is, hey, have a lot of women, do a lot of this, do a lot of that, and a lot of them are very lustful, and a lot of men just don't have self-control to keep their stuff in their pants. And when they feel those urges to turn to God, to pray, to ask God to remove the lustful spirit out of them, and just be committed and faithful to one woman. But what it all boils down to is accepting the fact that every man that you encounter or every man that you meet will not be your husband and not be the one. And that's one thing that I have to tell myself, because I'm an all in, all out person. So I'm not giving my time to nobody that I don't look at as a potential person that I will spend life with. So when I get with somebody, I'm willing to work through anything except for cheating, of course. So I'm willing to say, okay, how can we fix this? How can we fix that? We're gonna make this work, And if a person isn't willing to do whatever it takes to keep you, they don't want to be with you. So another stance that I was thinking about, because she was like, when you're going through a man following, then somebody was like, yeah, I don't even do that stuff no more at this point. Now me, I inspect what I expect. To me, it'll be foolish to not look at a man's following every now and then. I'm not finna have something at my fingertips as a resource and not use it. To each his own. Y'all may think it makes y'all insecure. It does not make me insecure. To me, I'll be a fool to be with a man and just think, oh, he's 100% faithful. No, I'm going to take me a little peek every now and then just to make sure ain't nothing changing. Make sure he ain't got too complacent, too comfortable, because I don't want to get too comfortable and then be like, oh my God, all of this was happening and I had no clue. I think sometimes a lot of y'all are so traumatized that you don't want to look because you don't want to know the truth. So that's a whole nother story for a whole different issue. And maybe that's not your case. Maybe you just totally, you're at a level where you're just what's done in the dark always comes to the light. To each his own. I don't fault people on that, because something as simple as a following, if it's there, I don't see nothing wrong with looking at it every now and then. If it's a habit, which we all have been there as well. I know, like I said, it was very new for me, where you checking it like clockwork every single day, who is he following now? That's when it becomes toxic. You got to go to God and say, God, please remove this from me. And if this man ain't for me, just let me stop focusing on him, because the man for me will not require me to be monitoring him. And that's just the God's honest truth. Now, the thing about also just monitoring what somebody is doing, it can become so habitual and it could become toxic. That's why I don't think you should be doing it all the time. And I get why she said you shouldn't be doing it at all. But like I said, inspecting what you expect, nothing is wrong with that. I also don't like sneaky behaviors. If you look at sneaky, some things are just sneaky. You have even men that you have certain sites, I know TikTok for sure, it's TikTok, where men can hide their following. To me, that's sneaky, unless your partner knows who you're following. So if I'm talking to a guy, I know he's only following me, on TikTok, it says 1 and he got 1 million and some followers, but me and him know that it's me who he's following. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that, because we got to understand it and I'm cool with that or whatever, However, if you are in a relationship and your man hiding his following, and even when you are with him, you can't see who he's following, or he can't screenshot or, or show you who he's following, that's an issue, because what's the secret? I feel like we're all grown here. Nobody can whoop you for who you're following. So what is it that you're hiding, And then, like I said, if you and your partner have a specific understanding and a reason why it's hidden to the public, that's cool and that's fine. But if it's hidden from you, yeah, something weird is going on. He's likely sneaky. He's likely a liar. He's likely a manipulator. And, it's other things that's going on. But you do have to just really protect your heart and guard your heart. I tell people, don't be scared and firm on standing on your standards in business, because a lot of people be like, well, it is impossible to not follow somebody on social media, and you try to be lenient because you don't want to make it seem like your partner is in a prison. But I'm telling you, when you truly love somebody, something as simple as following somebody is so stupid. Like, you don't even want to, why would I mess up what I love and what I have because I want to follow a new man? Men and women will think like that. If you truly love somebody, a request to make them feel more secure in your relationship would never just seem like the hardest thing in the world to do. Whenever a man makes it seem like a task is the hardest thing in the world to do, it's simply because he does not want you. He does not respect you. He does not value you. He's telling you these other women mean more to him, to you. He is okay with losing you because they are options for him. And if they don't want him, he may come back to you. But right now, he don't care if another man gets you, or if somebody else see you, or if you decide to move on, because right now all he cares about is going to find better, because he don't think you're the best option. But I hope this message helps somebody, and it helps y'all come to reality and come with terms. Because like I said, we all as women have to come to grips with this, the truth, the hard truth. And y'all know I'll be back because I'll be talking. Peace.